Have you ever wondered how vegetable oil is made? It's not like you can squeeze a carrot and get a stream of oil, right? Ah, vegetable oil. It's in our chips, our cakes, and even that salad you're pretending to enjoy. But have you ever paused mid-crisp to ponder where this omnipresent oil actually originates from? You might think it's simply a matter of giving a vegetable a good squeeze, but alas, you're not going to get very far trying to milk a mushroom or wring out a radish. It's a curious conundrum, isn't it? The idea of oil, a slick and slippery substance coming from vegetables which are, let's face it, decidedly less greasy. Who was the first person to look at a broccoli and think, there's oil in them, they're florets? We may never know, but one thing is for certain, they were onto something. You see, vegetable oil isn't really from the vegetables we typically picture, the carrots, the peas, the sprouts. No, the term vegetable oil is a bit of a misnomer. It's actually derived from a variety of oil-rich plants, such as sunflowers, soybeans, and rapeseed. So, if you've been trying to squish oil out of your spinach, you can stop now. So how do we get from a field of sunflowers basking in the sun to that bottle of golden liquid in your kitchen cupboard? The process is a fascinating journey of extraction and refinement, a testament to human ingenuity and our never-ending quest to make our food just a tad tastier. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of oil extraction, let's take a moment to appreciate the humble origins of this versatile ingredient. From the golden fields of sunflowers to the soybean crop stretching as far as the eye can see, it's a world away from the gleaming supermarket aisles where we usually encounter our vegetable oil. Turns out it's not as simple as wringing out a radish, but don't worry, we're here to unravel this oily enigma. First things first, let's clear up a common misconception. Not all vegetables are oil producers. I know, it's a bit disappointing. I mean, wouldn't it be fab if we could squeeze out a bit of oil from a cucumber for our salad dressings? Unfortunately, that's not the case. The truth is, vegetable oil comes from specific plants that are rich in oil. We're talking about soybeans, sunflowers, and olives. These lads are the real oil barons of the botanical world, not your average pea or potato. Imagine this, soybeans are like the little oil wells of the vegetable kingdom. They're small, but oh boy, they pack a punch. Each tiny bean is brimming with oil just waiting to be extracted. And sunflowers? They're like the towering oil derricks of the plant world, with their tall stems and vibrant yellow petals. They're not just pretty faces, they're hard at work producing oil in those tiny seeds. And let's not forget our Mediterranean mate, the olive. Olives are like the slick, suave oil tycoons. They're not just making oil, they're making extra virgin olive oil, the creme de la creme of plant oils. It's like they're saying, we're not just any oil producers, we're luxury oil producers. So next time you're cooking dinner or dressing a salad, remember the humble origins of your vegetable oil. It's not just vegetable oil, it's soybean oil or sunflower oil or olive oil, each one with its unique taste and properties, each one a product of nature's ingenuity and human innovation. And remember, not all vegetables are created equal. Some are just a bit more oily than others. So if you're looking for an alternative to your petroleum-based hair conditioner, you might want to consider sunflower seeds. Just kidding! Once we've identified our oil-rich plants, the next step is to extract that oil. And no, it's not done with a giant plant juicer. Oh, how we wish it were that simple. So how do we get the oil out then? Well, the first step is crushing. Now, this isn't a heartbreak sort of crushing, it's more like a getting ready for a smoothie kind of crushing. The plants are crushed into tiny bits, releasing the oil within them. Imagine if we could do this to get our morning coffee. Alas, we're stuck with brewing. Once our plant matter is properly crushed and feeling rather sorry for itself, we introduce it to a pressing machine. This machine is like a very insistent and persistent guest at a party. It squeezes and squeezes till every last drop of oil is extracted from the plant matter. A rather intense form of juice cleanse, wouldn't you agree? But wait, there's more. Just when our plant matter thought it could breathe a sigh of relief, here comes the solvent. Now, if you're picturing a detective with a magnifying glass, you're not far off. Our solvent is like a super sleuth sniffing out any oil that might still be hiding in the plant matter. It dissolves the remaining oil, ensuring we get every precious drop. Now, the solvent is not picky. It doesn't just dissolve the oil, it also dissolves other things like waxes and colorants, but we don't want those in our vegetable oil, do we? So we have to separate them. This is done by evaporating the solvent, leaving behind just the oil. So we've crushed, we've pressed, and we've solved our way to the oil. But hold your horses, we're not done yet. The oil is now a bit of a hot mess, literally and figuratively. It needs to cool down and get its act together before it's ready for your frying pan. And voila, you have your vegetable oil. Well, not quite. There's still a bit more to it than that. Now that we've got our raw vegetable oil, it's time to make it ready for your kitchen. And no, we don't use a magic wand for that. We'll have to leave the sorcery to the likes of Harry Potter. Instead, we use a series of steps that might sound like they're straight out of a spooky science fiction novel. Degumming, neutralization, bleaching, and deodorizing. But fear not, my friends. These processes are far less intimidating than they sound. Let's kick things off with degumming. Despite its name, it doesn't involve any chewing gum. It's the process of removing phospholipids from the oil. Think of it as the oil getting a spa treatment, eliminating all the unwanted elements and coming out fresher and cleaner. Next up, we have neutralization, which might sound like we're preparing the oil for a showdown with some nefarious villain. In reality, it's just a fancy way of saying that we're removing free fatty acids from the oil. It's like the oil's version of a detox diet, getting rid of all those pesky impurities. Then we move on to bleaching. But don't worry, we're not turning the oil into a platinum blonde. This step simply involves filtering out any colored impurities. It's like the oil's personal makeover session, ensuring it looks its best before it hits the supermarket shelves. Finally, we have deodorizing. Now, this isn't because the oil has a bad case of body odor. It's to ensure that any remaining odors from the extraction process are removed. Consider it the oil's final touch of perfume before it makes its grand entrance into your kitchen. So there you have it. From degumming to deodorizing, each step is designed to ensure that the vegetable oil is as pure, clean, and ready for your culinary adventures as possible. And with that, our vegetable oil is ready to be bottled and shipped to a supermarket near you. So there you have it. The journey of vegetable oil from plant to bottle. We've journeyed together through the fascinating world of vegetable oil production, from the humble beginnings in the soil to the shiny bottles on your kitchen shelf. It's quite the adventure, isn't it? A tale of transformation, patience, and a whole lot of science. First, we saw how the seeds are the silent heroes, the source of the oil. They're grown in vast fields, basking in the sun and drinking in the rain until they're ready to give us their oily goodness. It's a bit like a spa day for seeds, but without the fluffy robes and cucumber slices. Then we delved into the extraction process. It's here that the seeds are crushed and pressed, giving up their precious oil. It's a bit like squeezing a sponge, but instead of water, we get oil. And no, we're not talking about a trip to the gym, although the machines used in this process could surely give any fitness enthusiast a run for their money. Next, we explored the refining process. This is where the oil is cleaned and purified, stripping away any unwanted elements. It's the oil's version of a detox, if you will. It's also where it gets its lovely golden color. So next time you pour some oil into a pan, take a moment to appreciate its radiant glow. Finally, we've reached the end of our journey, and our oil is ready to be bottled and shipped to supermarkets around the world. It's been quite the ride, hasn't it? While it may seem like a complicated process, it's all done to ensure that the oil you use to cook your meals is safe, high quality, and enjoyable to use. It's a testament to the wonders of modern food production. Next time you're cooking with vegetable oil, spare a thought for the journey it's been on. And remember, no radishes were harmed in the making of your oil.